like this thing is going in slow motion. Hopefully it's really not. Blessings, y'all, and happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you. I am Brandy. And as always, I pray your day has gotten started off well and that it continues to flow in that vein. I want to say it's a blessing to have come across a couple of certain, well, actually three different sermons that I'll be listening to again from Dr. Winston, Pastor Kim, and my blessed Apostle Leroy Thompson. He was on fire this morning. But um, if you have not, I would say to go listen to all three of them. All three of them. Yeah, go listen to all three of them. But I wanted to share a quote and I wanted to speak on something really quick because I was reading about the four major prophets this morning. Actually, I was reading a pamphlet that I had gotten from Mardale's, and it was talking about um, the four major prophets, which are Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and Daniel, and really what they had to do. But anyhow, I'm going to read this quote first, okay? It says, someone who is not carrying the weight of what God has placed in you holds no validity for what it can or will produce. And we all know that, our words produce because the world itself was produced, created through what? Words. God spoke. And, the world came to be. And so I was in reading about the prophets and what their assignments were, and I really want to begin to study them a bit more. I used to always read Jeremiah, and I was intrigued with how God spoke with him, basically telling him, like, don't be afraid of them. Don't be afraid of them, for I put my words in your mouth. Um, and in reading Ezekiel on a couple of nights ago, I was realizing that he was basically in a nutshell kind of telling him the same thing, but also telling him to not be afraid of their looks. How many of you know that sometimes people will try to intimidate you with their looks? They will try to intimidate you with their looks. They would try to make you feel less than, almost in a condescending nature, even with their looks. And we have to understand that certain people just cannot understand what it is that God is doing through us a lot of times, what he has placed in us, because they're not in that space. Spiritually, they're not in that space. And it's not like we're saying that we're better than anybody because, you know, we're not. But we are acknowledging that certain people just cannot understand spiritual things because they're just not in that space. But it does not give you the permission or the pass to not go on and do what it is that God is telling you to do. He's saying do it in spite of, do it despite what they're saying, do it despite how they're treating you, do it despite how they're looking, do it despite whether they're believing you or not. You have the assignment of doing it. He'll deal with them, but he gonna deal with you if you don't do it, right? So in a nutshell, basically saying, don't let others take you off course from the path that God has placed before you. Don't allow them to make you negate from what you know you're supposed to do. Don't get off track of your assignment because someone else is ignorant of what is going on. Yeah, yeah. Our Father is amazing, and he uses the foolish things to confound the wise. Yeah. I don't want to say you that foolish thing, but you just might be that foolish thing that he's using to confound the wise. Hello, somebody. We are a peculiar people. Blessed Jesus. So move forward in the thing that he is having you to do. And I'm saying this to Brandy too. You best believe. And just watch him begin to do, amazing things in your lives, in our lives, because we're going forward in spite of, despite what is being presented to us. be going through that fire. Hello, somebody. All right. So I pray you guys have an awesome rest of your Sunday. And I will catch you in this next one. All right. Peace, y'all.